So we talk about $50 silver. We talk about gold, $3,000. Seems outrageous, right? Seems completely outrageous. I understand. Even in my mind, I think $50 silver. Remember, it hit there once before. But what is going on in two states right now? North Carolina, Texas, right? These states across the country are fighting back against the tyranny of CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currencies, number one, and the fiat money system. Those two factors alone. Guys, I'm telling you, $50, I know you think $50 silver seems outrageous. That may seem like crumbs by the time we're done with what we could likely see occur over the next number of years, 5 years, 10 years, however we want to look at it. That's just looking at things from the fiat money system perspective. But we've got these states, right? Texas in particular, making bold moves in the precious metals arena. In Texas, I don't know, what's the word? Innovative state? Texas is doing very well. Their economy is doing well. Austin, Texas. People are moving to Texas, right? It's a progressive, conservative, progressive type state. They're a leader in my book. And what their comptroller is about to do could be send shockwaves through the precious metals sector. You may not agree with me. That's okay. But that's what I see occurring. And we got to be talking about what North Carolina is doing with legislation to stop the CBDCs in their state. Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida is considering the same thing. These CBDCs, they're going to like monitor every little thing we do. It's just going to be another form of fiat money, but one which the government can control everything and see everything. What's the last bastion of safety and security going to be? Privacy, when that becomes the case. Silver and gold. What do you think that's going to do to the silver and gold price? Right? People are going to be waking up to the fact that their paper dollars, digital dollars, unicorn, fart dust dollars, whatever you want to call it, right? That those things are becoming less and less valuable, diluted. It's like if you have a bottle of whiskey, right? And you drink half of it and then you fill it back up to the top with water. It's diluted, right? It still probably tastes like whiskey, but it's only half as strong. And that's what we're looking at occurring with the fiat money system. Let's talk about North Carolina. Let's talk about you first for a second. Let me see who we have on the chat, who we can say hello to. As always, guys, if you have any particular questions, anything that you want me to talk about, please text it. Jim Tillapaw, you get the, that's the best comment, right? Texit. He's talking about Texas, like the Brexit, but it's called Texit. Bing bong. I don't know if you made that up, Jim, but nonetheless, you get a gold star for that one, if you made it up or not. $50 plus premiums. Yes, love the way you're talking, Paul. Good point. You know, what's the silver price right now when you add in the premiums that you're being charged, right? Junk silver. Yeah, Glockman, you know, Coin Shop Chris. Hey, Snakebite, good to see you. Neil, Jerry. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Really appreciate it. Hey, real quick, before I get started, I want to talk about North Carolina, what they did this week, and we're going to talk about Texas. But I have a question for you. Do you, if you're a gold and silver person, I would hope that you know who Keith NEUMEYER is. Do you like Keith NEUMEYER? Yes or no? He's the CEO of First Majestic Silver. He's an outspoken CEO who's talked about how the price of silver in particular, but gold as well, is manipulated. He's, done some innovative things with his company. He gets mad sometimes, and when he thinks the price is being manipulated too low, and he'll hold back silver from the market. He's done that several times. He's talked about the silver producers, if I remember correctly, but I'm 99% sure I'm accurate on this, about the silver miners developing their own like co-op where they control when and how much they sell their silver for. He's on our side, guys. Do you like Keith NEUMEYER? Yes or no? I want to see what you say, because I want to ask you a favor. There's 117 of you in here. On Wednesday, I have a webinar with Keith NEUMEYER. Not on my channel. I'll be posting it later, but there's a webinar, a live webinar on a platform called Six. It's the number 6IX. I'll put a link to it in the description of this. You can register. I'll be live with Keith NEUMEYER and Dan Wilton, the CEO of First Mining Gold. And we're going to talk about silver, gold, excuse me, the mining industry, all types of subjects. Keith NEUMEYER is a don't miss. So if you could do me a favor, you'd really be helping me out. Register for the webinar. Let's talk about North Carolina. Listen to this. North Carolina's House of Representatives last week unanimously passed a bill prohibiting the state's agencies and institutions from accepting payments in Central Bank Digital Currencies. Oh my gosh. Good job, North Carolina. The states, guys, are realizing individually what is going on and taking steps to protect their citizens, right? We already know, right? A wave of states, 20 plus states, have either passed or are in the process of working on gold and silver legal tender legislation, which is outlined in the United States Constitution, which protects citizens' rights to use gold and silver as legal tender. But now states like North Carolina and Ron DeSantis down in Florida is talking about doing the same thing. Central Bank Digital Currency legislation saying, no way, we aren't going to do it. And look, I'm not a lawyer. Maybe you are. But can the states stop this from happening? It's an interesting development. I mean, we got a lot of other stuff going on, right, in this country. We forgot bank crisis, and what's the other one? I got to write that down. And the debt ceiling. I mean, come on, right? Now the states are trying to stop. It says, while the U.S. Treasury Department has said leaders are evaluating the issuance of the digital dollar, some countries, including China, have already run pilot plans. So, China, they control everything that their citizens do now through the central bank digital currency. They use their phones, right? If you get social scores, it's like Big Brother. And they're talking about that being the prospect for here in the United States. Now, nobody knows for sure, right? But they're talking about, like, if you hold certain political beliefs or whatever, you may not be allowed to travel. There's all kinds of potentials out there, right? Let's bring it back to gold and silver for a second. These CBDCs, digital dollars, whatever you want to call it. No more paper money. Jerome will have to retire his printing press, right? But it'll all be digital. What's going to be left for people for a private store of value, a private way to exchange funds with themselves? You could say Bitcoin or whatever. I don't buy it. I don't think that's so private, right? There's a digital record. It's kind of like they like to brag about that there's the blockchain and digital record, blah, blah, blah. Well, that means there's a digital record. Gold and silver have always universally, everywhere in the world, universally been recognized as a store of value, been recognized as a means to conduct trade amongst people, and that will continue to be the place. But when we get these CBDCs, right, that'll be the only thing left, gold and silver. What do you think that'll do for demand of gold and silver? We know what it's doing right now. Right now. There's huge demand for gold and silver. Peter Grandich, I was talking to him on Friday. He said, Ronnie, there's, when the bullion dealers are able to charge these crazy premiums, right? And it's not just the coin shops, because the coin shops are having to pay a lot more as well. Don't get mad at your coin shops, right? I know from talking to Coin Shop Chris, like they're having to pay above spot to get their inventory. What does that mean? Right? What does that mean? That means there's huge demand. There's huge demand right now. What if the demand gets even higher, like multiples higher? That means there's like nothing available. There's almost limited supplies right now, constricted, delicate. I would call it delicate. I don't know about you, but nonetheless, I would say that the availability of metals, everybody I talk to that's in the wholesale side or the retail side, and we know when we go to look, like, what's it cost? You want to buy a darn 100-ounce bar. It's $5 an ounce over spot. So there is already huge demand. I'm sorry. Back to North Carolina. Good idea. Let's stop the CBDCs, even if we have to do it on a state-by-state basis. Now, I want to talk to you about something else, right? Let's talk. You know who Warren Buffett is? The great Warren Buffett. Did you hear what Warren Buffett said over the weekend? They had their annual meeting for Berkshire Hathaway, and the great Warren talked. They're saying for the first time, like in basically anybody's memory, Warren Buffett basically told all the people at the annual meeting that the period of extraordinary growth, the period of unbelievable profits for the American economy, for American business, is over. What does that tell us, huh? I don't. To me, what Warren Buffett is saying is the U.S. economy is in trouble. All of this is occurring with a little banking crisis going on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And a debt ceiling crisis going on top of that. But everything's fine out there. And we already know stores are closing like crazy. Bed Bath & Beyond, Tuesday morning, Burger King. I don't really like Burger King, and be honest with you. My kids, we got one. It's like the closest fast food restaurant to our house. Nonetheless, Burger King closing 400 stores throughout the United States. Things are interesting, guys. Thank you, Jim. Jim Telepaw gave me a nice compliment on my red shirt. I appreciate that, Mr. Jim. Excuse me. Sorry about the coughing and the slurping. 12 ounces of silver. I'm not here. Okay, let's see what kind of great. New Zealand, Jason Briggs. Awesome. How difficult is it to find yourself silver and gold in New Zealand? Let us know. We're curious. We want to hear, right? We live in this little United States bubble, a lot of us. What's it like to get precious metals in New Zealand? Next, guys, we're going to talk about what's going on in Texas. And to me, for precious metals, that's the most exciting thing happening right now. I was never a big fan of Texas, but I'm going to tell you, over the last couple of years, seeing what they've done in Texas, I'm becoming a fan. And what they're going to do for precious metals is groundbreaking in the United States. They're leading the way, and my hat's off to Texas. If they get this completed, what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, I might just have to get myself a cowboy hat to wear down here because it is impressive. And then I got to tell you guys, I have to apologize to you all. I made a big mistake. Something I did with the channel. I'm going to tell you about that as well. But let's go on to Texas. Here, headline. Texas House advances gold-backed digital currency bill. Now, wait. I know all of us, we all say, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And I agree with you 100%. But we got to realize, guys, if we want silver and gold, right, to be used as legal tender, there's going to have to be an electronic option. But the key is that the electronic option be regulated, that we know, right, that if there's a digital currency representing gold, that we know it actually represents the gold. And that's exactly what we're about to get in Texas. Let me read a couple of things to you here. Very interesting. A Texas House committee has taken the first steps in discussion of a bill that creates a digital currency 100% backed by gold specie. 100% backed. The bill, HB 4903, which was introduced in March by Mark D'Orazio, has garnered support from 42 sponsors, okay? The bill specifies that the comptroller of the state of Texas, okay, will establish a digital currency that is backed by gold so that each unit of the digital currency issued represents a particular fraction of a troy ounce of gold held in trust. Each unit of the digital currency is 100% backed by real gold, 100%, and it's regulated by the comptroller of Texas. That's the key, because you get some crypto gold thing or whatever, blah, 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 and then there's controversy and they don't really have the gold, whatever. This will be 100% backed and audited, right? The comptroller of Texas. This is huge, 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 because if it gets passed and when it takes off, it is going to drive unbelievable demand for gold. And that'll filter right back down to our friend silver and platinum as well. This is huge news. I understand a lot of stackers, a lot of the gold and silver hardcore. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I agree with you, right? I own this. That's 10 ounces of silver. My great-grandpa's great-great-great-great-great-grandpa to the 90th degree that was alive 3,000 years ago could have had that same 10 ounces of silver. I don't know. Its value, whoever holds it owns it, no doubt. But we live in a modern digital age, and if we want gold and silver to really be used, right, we're going to have to accept the fact that these digital currencies are coming and they're real. The key is that they're monitored and that they are regulated by somebody we trust. And Texas is leading the way, right? Redemptions of the currency would be processed in gold specie, right? Gold bullion, or in money, with the comptroller of the state or a contracted third party managing these redemptions. Implementation of this bill would cost the state $25 million for a limited system, and a more functional transaction system costing up to $100 million. They're getting ready to make a big investment in the future of digital gold, digital precious metals in Texas, and that is awesome. Way to go, Texas. We love you. Other states are also pursuing laws to establish alternatives to the U.S. dollar as a transactional and reserve currency. On April 11th, Arkansas passed a bill that makes gold and silver legal tender, allowing its citizens to use gold specie as legally to pay debts and obligations without having tax implications. So we are seeing this occur across the country because people like you and me, right, are worried about their paper dollars, their fiat money. That's the title of this video, right? Gold and silver protecting you from an attack by fiat money and CBDCs. So the states are taking action to protect their citizens, what I would call the progressive states, right? Conservative progressive, the smart states that don't want to live under the umbrella of like a big brother type operation. They are taking action to protect their people, protect their citizens, right? And we know we're worried about the dollar. The world is worried about the dollar. Don't we know that China, Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Brazil, do you want me to keep going? I could pretty much name the globe at this point. They're all worried about the dollar and the value of the dollar, and they're moving away from the dollar. They're de-dollarizing. They're moving to, yeah, you guessed it, silver and gold. And can we understand why? Yes, we can understand why. Because the politicians, the leaders in Washington squandered and mismanaged the wealth of this country, especially since 1971 when Richard Nixon took the United States off the gold standard. Because at that point, right, they could do whatever they wanted. Up till then, the amount of money that could be created, it was controlled by the amount of gold. Right now, 1971, we're just temporarily going to take them off the gold standard. Well, we never went back. And you know what? They never stopped printing money. But you know what they can't print? I don't think you can print gold. Do you? No. Do you think you can print silver? No. All right. I'm going to look at some of the comments from you, because you guys are the most important part. This is awesome that everybody's here tonight. Awesome. I really appreciate it. Gold up 1.75%. What? You're joking, right? Senor Loco? You must be loco. Does anybody know? What the heck is good? Did the futures markets open for gold? Yeah, open in 10 minutes. That's right. Okay, guys. Questions. Paul, great question. Paul had a question. I don't want to miss any question. I had a question I wanted to ask everybody. Do you think next Sunday, I want to hear from you. Next Sunday night, I'll do a live stream. I give you my word, okay? I want to hear from you. Where do you think? It's simple. I'm going to make it simple for you. Next Sunday, when we're doing the live stream, is the price of gold above 2,000 or below 2,000? Let me know in the comments below. Above or below 2,000? And then I have another question for you. I'm going to see what you guys say. Above or below? Above, Ryan Miller. Snakebite thinks below. Nickel Stacking thinks above. Mountain Bullion thinks above. Below, above. A little more above. 2890, Jim Telepow. You knocked it out of the park with the Texit comment, my friend. Above 1900. Above. Below, but will rebound. Above. So mostly aboves. We are in a different environment right now for the gold price and silver price than we were 1 year ago, than we were 6 months ago, than we were really 2 years ago. We are in the winds have shifted, okay? It doesn't mean we're not going to go down, but the general direction right now is supportive for the price of gold and silver. Next Sunday, we'll see. Yep, that's right. Next Sunday, we will see. What about the banks? Guys? Are we going to have more bank failures this week? Or do you think that's over, that it's all under control and that it's done? More bank failures? New highs. Nickel Stacking sees new highs. Yes, currently watching Ron's Basement. Hey, good, Timothy. Hey guys, we are all together right now from all over the world. I want you to stop and pat yourself on the back because we are literally 1 in 1,100 people, okay? You're the smart ones. Trust me, you're the smart ones, right? A lot of people are sitting watching whatever, Naked and Afraid or Dancing with the Stars, and that's okay. Don't get me wrong. I watch TV. I watched a movie last night with my kids called Melody, or I was about this AI robot. I mean, I watch TV, but we spend a lot of our time pulling our head out of the sand and wanting to see what's going on in the world because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your family, right? And we got to realize we are like the 1 in 1,000 of the people, 1 in 1,100, whatever the case may be. They'll want to join us, but remember, there's only so many seats on this boat, and when people wake up, as more people wake up, that is going to create multiples of the amount of money we have now within the gold sector, the silver sector, and the precious metal mining stock sector. Get Liberty Coin. Yeah, Coin Shop Chris, thank you, by the way, my good friend, Coin Shop Chris, helping with the channel, helping with the moderation of the live stream, and he likes Liberty Coin. And so does Buddy Rumble, a guy I had on last week. He incidentally started talking positively about Liberty Coin. So come on, Liberty Coin. Give us some stuff we can give away to the viewers. You're getting a lot of free positive mentions, but you know what? They deserve it because Liberty Coin apparently treats people right. So thumbs up to them, okay? I'm not sponsored by them. I've never been directly or indirectly given anything, but I just hear really good things about Liberty Coin, especially even people going through eBay and using Liberty Coin. Ron, do you think the coronation from this weekend will impact British coin prices? That's a good question, Timothy. Obviously, the Queen is not on the British coins anymore. The Britannia, that was my favorite coin last year, by the way. Um, and there was an immediate bump in the value of the coins with the British Queen. But you know what I think, Timothy, is going to help the value of gold and silver, sovereign bullion coins? Just the dang fact that silver and gold are going to go up, 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 up in value. Guys, Warren Buffett said it himself this weekend at the Berkshire Hathaway annual convention. He said the era of extraordinary growth, the era of unbelievable performance by the U.S. economy, it's over. That guy, he's always Mr. Positive, always Mr. Oh, I believe in the long. No, he said we are in trouble. He said his companies are going to have lower profits next year. The U.S. economy is heading into some potentially very dangerous waters, right? At the worst time. We've got like a government that can't, it's sad enough, isn't it, that they need to raise a debt limit anyway, that they've gotten us into this situation on top of it. But we are in precarious, especially potentially here in the next few weeks as we head up to June 1st, the U.S. government could run out of money. Even old Janet Yellen said it could be catastrophic for the U.S. economy. We know that credit is contracting, and that what that means is like there's just not money. The banks just don't have as much money. They don't want to have loans that are being rolled over. It's like money is getting tight out there. It's going to be an interesting remainder of the year for the U.S. economy, right? And they're going to have to wind up. The only option they have, let's see. The only option he has, that's Jerome, he's in a box. Recession on one side, inflation on the other, right? Jerome, what's your only option? I'll need to print. Oh, Jerome, put him back in his box. That's all they're going to be. It's the only thing they can do, right? Is they're going to have to smoke and mirrors, and they're already printing right now. Because of the banking crisis, they're just not calling it that. They have all kinds of tricks and backdoor this and, with one hand, they're trying to put out the inflation fire with a hose. With another hand, they're flaming it, right? Okay? They're flaming it. So at the end of the day, this economy is going to slow down. I think Warren Buffett, right? If he's saying it, it's probably really looking nasty out there. We know the other factors that are putting contracting credit, slowing down the U.S. economy. I mean, it's nasty. And at a time when it'd be like if you had a ton of debt. I mean, a ton of debt. Okay, and on top of that, you were losing your job. That's kind of what's going on right now with the situation in the United States. It's untenable. Okay. Oh, I need to tell you guys, I need to apologize to you. I made a huge mistake, and it has to do with the channel. And I want to tell you I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you what I did. I put out a poll yesterday, and I asked a question of everybody. I said, when do you see $30 silver? And here were the results. But I screwed up and I lied to you, and I need to face up and tell you what I did and why I'm wrong. Okay, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You don't have to be perfect. I screwed up. The results, though, you saw $30 silver. 20% of you saw it at the end of May. 30% of you saw it at the end of June. And 40% of you saw it at the end of December. 10 of you said it's never going to get, 10% said it's never going to get to 30 again. So most of you thought by the end of the year, but some of you thought, I left out the most important answer. Because the answer to that question is, when will silver get to $30? And somebody pointed this out in the comments section. He said, when I sell. he's saying if you wanted to get to $30, then yeah, as soon as I sell, it'll skyrocket up. Haven't we all? Guys, that's universal. We've all felt that way before. Like I sold something, whether it's a stock or some silver, although I have never sold an ounce of silver in my life. And then it shoots up. So this guy, I forget who it was, had this great. So I left out the most important answer that silver will shoot to $30 the day that you go to the coin shop and sell. I've joked around before. Maybe I will take a couple ounces and sell, and that way that'll make the price go up. All right, guys. Ron's Basement. Brett Davey. What will happen to the Australian banks? Will the U.S. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Australian banks. I do know that the European banks are even in worse shape than the U.S. banks, because the European banks, a big part of the problem with the U.S. banks is that they bought all these 1% and 2% bonds, treasury bonds, and now they're worth much less because rates are so much higher. Guess what? In Europe, they were required to buy the bonds from the European countries. They had negative interest rates for a while in Europe. So European banks, whether it's Europe, probably Australia, United States, any of the big G7 countries, they're all fiat money printers, unicorn fart dust, whatever you want to call it. Hey, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you being here. Let me mention one more time, if you want to do me a huge favor, I'd like to set a record with our webinar with Keith NEUMEYER on Wednesday. In the description of this live stream, there'll be a link to this organization, this channel. It's fancy. It's called 6, the number 6IX. If you click on that, you can register for a live webinar that I'm going to be doing with Keith NEUMEYER and Dan Wilton, who's the CEO of First Mining Gold. We're going to get to the bottom of what's going on in the gold and silver price, talk about the mining stocks, talk about First Mining Gold. And you'd really be helping me out because First Mining Gold is my sponsor. And I'd like to show them that, hey, the people that watch Ron's Basement were for real, right? And that we could set a record with this webinar. Ring the bell. Hey, I almost forgot. Okay, here we are. We're at 139 thumbs up. If we can get to 150 in the next 60 seconds, I'll ring the bell 3 times. 140. I'm watching. 141. Come on, thumbs up, guys. Please. I'm in my basement Sunday. 143. We did it. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go through some of the comments here and see what we got going down. Somebody says gold is down. Silver's up a penny. Bitcoin. Ron needs coffee. Yeah. Yeah, the bell is supposed to trigger my wife to come running down to refill my coffee cup. That has never, ever happened. Mad Max coming, gold way up. Yeah, Mad Max, right? All right, guys. Thank you for being here. You are the best. Okay, don't leave yet because I'm going to give you. I want to give you something that I think is very important, and that is a thank you and a reminder. Right, wherever you are, there's 350 of you right now, all over the world. Number one, we are all special and unique. Don't forget that. You're important. You're an important part of Ron's Basement. Most supportive, nice people out there in this channel. And so I want to tell you thank you because it's a big deal and we got to stick together, right? We are, on the fringe, but in a good way. We're not nutcases. We're realist, right? People say, oh, you're tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. No, we're realists. We believe in math, right? So we got to stick together and support each other. Thank you for everything. You're the best, and I'll see you soon.